Welcome back to my channel, Benson's Trumpet Tips. In this video, we are going to be discussing if you should take it up the octave or take it down the octave. Through my many years of playing, I've found that a lot of composers like to create really crazy passages for trumpet 1 or 2 or for cornet 1 and 2. And depending on how crazy these passages are, you may end up playing only notes above the fourth ledger line, which is a D. So let's say you're playing a complicated piece and you're playing technical passages all the way. The entire piece is basically all block notes. There's no rests whatsoever. You're playing everything high and it's also double forte. To remedy this, what I like to do is I like to take some of those sections down the octave. Another thing composers like to do is they like to write similar parts for different sections of the band. So if you're playing first trumpet and you're playing the melody, you can be matching with, let's say, the clarinets, or if you want to take it down the octave, if you're going to be playing like in a second to third trumpet range, you'll be matching with the trombones and the euphoniums. I always used to think that taking things down the octave meant that, well, maybe I shouldn't be playing first trumpet. Maybe I should just be playing second and third. Maybe that's where my strength lies. But then I realized is that I can still play first trumpet. It's just I can't play it for as long as I want to. Maybe my stamina isn't there. Maybe my range isn't there. Sounding good is better than sounding like crap up top. So I got a funny story to tell you. Once every couple years in high school, the band program would get together, all of our pieces, and we record them onto a CD. So for my grade 12 year, we went up to Edmonton. We got in the recording booths and the whole band was there. We did all of our sets and everything. And then we got towards this kind of piratey ship music. I forget what the piece is called. We got to a passage where I had to play high A above the staff and I had to hold it for probably 3-4 bars, something like that. At this point, I was playing first trumpet at the time, but I wasn't really that great. So you can imagine what happened. So what the recording guy decided to do was he lowered my volume for my audio track all the way down, basically, so you can barely hear me. Now that I think about it, it was probably the best thing to do because, if you're playing like 20 cents flat in a recording, best to, lower that down a little bit. The thing that helped me get better with the range going between octaves is something called second studies. My high school band teacher was a very well-educated teacher. She was a big Trekkie as well, hence all my other videos of my Star Trek music that I like to play. But she was really big into, scales, technique, and the stamp book, and also the Clark studies. Now, second studies are basically, you're taking a scale, you kind of stay towards the middle section of that scale. So instead of going da 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 da, kind of works like waves crashing into each other. So you're going da 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 da. So I'll show you what I mean now with the Clark study right here. The second study can be used in many different ways. You can slur everything, you can tongue everything, you can slur to, tongue to, you can double tongue it, triple tongue it. But the most important thing about a second study is it will build your endurance going between the octaves. So doing these second studies on a daily basis or even every other day, it's very good because you'll be learning your scales and you'll be learning the fingerings and going in between the scales. So if you're learning something that has 6 flats or 6 sharps, the second study will allow you to go through the different variations of the scale, and that way you can learn the scales. So first I'll play the second study, R, B flat, or concert C, and we'll do that first. Next, I'll go 1 octave above. In this case now, I'm going to do the middle C, but I'm going to do piano, mezzo forte, forte, and then end with piano. The good thing about these exercises is that they're almost an unlimited amount of possibilities and combinations you can do with these exercises, just to fiddle around, you know, find out what works for you, and see what you're comfortable with, and see what kind of progress you can make. Another cool thing, just for an example, when I was auditioning for a university orchestra, I decided that I was going to play the Entrada Trumpet Concerto. Now, the Entrada Trumpet Concerto is written in the key of C with piano. So for this, I didn't really have C trumpet. So I decided to transpose the entire piece into B flat. So the little transposed piece will be right down here at the bottom. So in this section, there's a part where I'm crescendoing up to a high B above the staff, kind of like a scale. And I knew when I was getting to that point that I couldn't hit the high B. So I took it down the octave. And, I knew that just for my own self and for my audition piece, I'd rather play the piece down the octave and make it sound good than try to crack a high note above, and, try to make it, sound really bad. So this is just a couple bars of the piece leading up to that section. I'll play the first part up the octave as written, and then I'll play another section down the octave so you can see the difference. Okay, here we go, as written. Now, second time, I'm going to play part of it down the octave. Here we go. So the last bit to review, essentially, if you can't play it up the octave, play it down the octave. There's no harm in that, If you still want to learn the piece and what's written, it's actually going to help you probably in the long run. You're probably going to learn your scales and learn the fingerings for both octaves, and it's probably going to work out for you. Thanks very much for watching this content on taking it up the octave or down the octave. If you like this content and other stuff on my channel, please like and subscribe.